Try number 7. Hopefully I don't get interrupted again. Whew. Okay, so if you want to skip on the channel update section of this video, skip to about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. That being said, quick channel update. A lot of my old series will be doing a rewrite. My style has changed, so there's a few of them I wasn't happy with. My breakout series, I'm going to have to do a redo because there's a few story points that I wanted to do in it that I can spread out over a couple of episodes and just altogether make it a better series. That being said, this new series, I want to thank Frenchie for this because they've helped me out the past couple of weeks, soundboarding them in with some storyboard bullets and everything. Has helped me consolidate my thoughts on this series. I won't be going, this first episode, I won't be going over stats that much, and you'll understand going in, because it doesn't really come into play until later on in the series. But there will be updates and you'll understand. So that being said, let's get into our story of what if a friend was Isekaid into Naruto. So our story actually starts out with a young woman in the MHA world that she started out as her life wasn't that great in this world of quirks. She was quirkless, always told that she wouldn't be able to do anything with her life, besides being like a cop or something like that. But one thing about this person that she enjoyed was manga, like old style mangas, like old mangas and stuff. Stories about people with powers and stuff from a time when no one really had quirks. And she just became intrepid with this. One of her favorite series was Naruto. And she really liked the main protagonist, his never give up attitude. And that gave her the strength to like never give up. She learned from Naruto and many other like old mangas that she could get her hands on, which cost her a lot of money, basically spending her entire allowance on like all these old issues of manga and stuff. Like really rare, so she'd be spending like several, like 10, 20,000 yen for a single issue. Sorry about that, I had to take a drink. Because for the past 30 minutes I've been trying to do recordings. So that being said, one day she is walking, minding her own business. She's visiting like a grocery store. And then like, normal day-to-day stuff. She stops by the bank to withdraw some cash to give to a church that she was like charity for like church and stuff. The bank ends up getting like robbed. But unlike Deku, she never gave up. She always pushed herself to be better, always working out. She figured if I don't have a quirk, I'm going to have to get strong in other ways. So she really devoted herself into like developing her physical body. So she's used to like running like a couple of miles a day or biking like 20 miles every morning, stuff like that, and really pushing like her strength. And during this villain attack on the bank, getting robbed and everything, she doesn't give up. She doesn't back down from this guy. She fights this dude tooth and nail. Like she like in one of the altercations at the beginning, she loses like an arm, but she never gives up fighting this guy, trying to like prevent him from like hurting people. And she really does not stop until the color in her eyes go away and she has finally died. But this action of hers leads to people in the bank that had quirks to actually retaliate and actually survive this altercation. So we cut to the main protagonist, the protagonist of this story. She's like her point of view during this whole altercation. I can't give a fuck. You took my arms, God, but I won't give up. Just just going at it like a wild animal in her mind. And when she finally loses all energy, she's her final blow to this guy's face. She's like, oh, and she dies. Then her consciousness awakens to a screen. Notification. Rebirth of the gamer has activated. Choose your world. And it just miles and miles and miles of script. To her, it seems like she's floating in a void. She doesn't a consciousness without a body, but she's just aware of her surroundings. She doesn't have a physical form. And she thinks, she says, but it's more brought on by thought. Is there a search function with this thing? This seems is this my quirk? Is my quirk finally coming in? All these thoughts are running through her mind. And it's with all these miles, and she's like, dang, this is so confusing. I wish there was a search function. Query function activated. Is there a specific world that you would like to search for, if possible? She gets pop-up. So she's like, there's Naruto, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Marvel, and every single time she says that, she thinks she's saying this, but it's more her thoughts, her hearing her own thoughts and everything. Each one of these worlds pops up. And when she's just in awe, she's like, well, so my quirk activated. What is this? Wait, I can go into the Naruto world? This is a coma. I don't really care. I'm happy with my life. Hopefully my actions help someone. So she basically clicks on Naruto. Naruto world, Naruto universe selected. Select your country, and it lists all the countries, fire country, and all that everything. And then after selection of country, she's like, select country and village. And she's like, wait, does that mean if I chose Sunagaker, but fire country, Sunagaker would be put into the fire country? How does that work? But it's interesting things. Land of Wind, the daimyo's pretty damn hands off, and any ninja village that's in their country, if the story is supposed to progress anything like Naruto, she just wouldn't want to deal with that. Land of Waves. A lot of issues there. Land of Lightning, I think. Yeah, it's Land of Lightning. Too much deal on bloodlines and arrogancy. Dun 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 dun. Shoot, I lost my place. Give me one moment while I pause. Yeah, so sorry about that. I lost my place in my notes. So she goes through all the list, and then she's thinking, well, Naruto grew up in Konoha, so she first selects Konoha, and then why not just make, why not just have it as close to like the story of Naruto as possible? She thinks, and she selects fire, like Konoha, Fire Country. Congratulations, country and village of birth has been chosen. Classification of sorry about that. I got tongue tied, like couldn't speak. So she gets, she looks, she's selected, and then a pop up comes up that says, "Now create character model. First, pick state of birth and clan to be born in." And it lists all the clans of like Konoha. Everything from Senju, Uzumaki, Uchiha, Nara, Kurama clan, all these different clans, and it also says civilian birth. And each one has its list of things. With civilian birth, it states you come from a civilian birth, and unlike your parents, even though you come from a very wealthy family, you've always wanted to be a ninja. You want to be a ninja. You like that's your goal. Like you want, like you've always stated that you wanted to be a ninja. And she's like, well, definitely not doing damn civilian. So she says it's like, I mean, I could do Uchiha, but man, fuck Sasuke. That dude was like such a fucking arrogant bastard. Nara, they're really lazy, very intelligent, and the intelligence buff would be really nice, but I could just stack intelligence while leveling up, but no, Nara doesn't fit. I mean, there's always Uzumaki, but if I'm born during the time of Naruto, then that would be bad, and I really don't want to be Naruto's kid. Or even grow up in the warring state, the warring village times, like the World Wars. So she's like, as much as I want, I won't do that. Aburame clan. Well, like, bugs are cool and everything, but they're so emotionless in how they talk with each other. That would just drive me crazy if I have to deal with that for years. And so she's going through like the list, and then she comes across one moment. I actually didn't write that name down. I just have to fuck no. Yep, sorry about that. I didn't actually write the name down. I just said like a line. And then she sees like Shimura clan, and she's like, "Oh hell, fucking no! I'm not gonna be related to that fucking Danzo bastard in any damn way." So that's a definite no. Sarutobi, yeah, it'd be nice to be related to like the third Hokage and Konohamaru, but I don't want to go through the whole honorable like Sarutobi or honorable Senju. So she makes Senju. And then she reads the Inuzuka tab. Inuzuka. Gain an additional 5% experience to physical activity, and a plus 10% gain to your clan, to the Inuzuka clan techniques. And she's like, well, Kiwa was arrogant, but his sister and mom were pretty damn cool. I'm gonna go with Inuzuka. Then another screen pops up. Select sex, male, female, or undefined. And she's like, definitely female. Not going to, not anything, not that there's anything wrong. I actually have, like, my best friend was gay, but I really like men. So I really like a woman's body. So she selects female. It mind you, this character likes both male and female. She, in our world, she'd be classified as pansexual. Like, her attraction to someone has nothing to do with their genitalia. It's more so her connection with them on a personality level. But that being said, moving on. Sorry about the tangent. And now she's like, select start. Like, tongue tied. One moment. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was right there. So it's like starting stats, five in each. Like each one starts out at 5. So 5 fit, 5 strength, 5 dex, 5 whiz, 5 int. Sorry about that, I had to knock at the door. That being said, so she's looking at her stats and it says int. Like int, vit, dex, strength, whiz, charisma, luck. And all of them have started out at 5. And she notices applying clan ability. So she notices that her bit goes up to 6, her int goes down to 4, dex goes up to 7, strength goes up to 7, wisdom goes down to 4, charisma shoots up to 6, and luck stays at 5. So, in this story, stats are basically being treated as though, like D&D stats and everything. And you'll understand why they're so low, they're so low when the story progresses a little bit more. So she's like, now you can allocate 5 additional stat points. So she's like, well, let's put 2 into int and 2 into whiz. So bringing int and whiz up to 6. And she tries to put one into luck to like kind of bring everything closer into like a median point. And she gets error, notification. Luck cannot be increased with stat point allocation. And she's like, dang, so I can't become the luckiest person in the world. She was like, well, fine, I guess I'll just put another point into int. So bring her intelligence up to 7. Choose hair color. Now, this is where it's going to be different. Choose hair color, eye color, size of facial markings. So this is the closest that I could find. This is, I think, is a young Sum in Izuku. And unlike Sum, she has purple eyes. Like her eyes are purple, you know, like a darker shade to Yugao and Anko's hair color. Like her eyes are purple, her markings are basically the same size, but her hair is more like her hair looks more like Hana's hair, Kiba's older sister. So she selects all of this, and she's like, that's gonna looks pretty good. So when she gets done with their character model creation and her path selections and all this everything, going through like the whole character, congratulations, character creation completed. Buffs being allocated. Gamer's mind. Gamer's body. Gamer's look. And it lists off, like, gamer's mind, you'll be able to think calm and rationally in the heat of battle. Gamer's body, until you lose all HP. Unless, if you lose all HP, you will die. Normal damage to the body, losing a limb and everything, is not permanent. Like your body is more durable than average. Until you hit 0, any damage that you would have sustained wouldn't appear on your body. Basically, like how that says that. So then she's like, cool. Notification. Choose error of your birth. And she's like she's blinking. And she actually has, like, her body. And she's like, oh, I look so young. I think I'm, like, 4 or 5 years old. By appearances. And she's blinking. Wait, what? Choose your era of birth? So I could be born into, like, Hashirama's time, Naruto's time. And she states, during the QB attack, because she's thinking, if I can choose the story where I start out, my starting point, then that Naruto, and I can totally fuck with Sasuke and that shitty ass Sakura, and also correct a few things that I didn't like with the story. So she selects, like, the era of, like, the era of around when the QB attacked, because it lists, like, Hashirama's, like, warring state period, founding of village period, First Shinobi World War, Second Shinobi World War, Third Shinobi World War, end of Third Shinobi World War, to, like, the start of the academy. And then pre QB attack, and then post QB attack, and all this other stuff. So she's just thinking, so that's great. And then it says, congratulations, character selection completion. Gamer set. Enjoy your new life, gamer. Bright light flashes in this void, and she's groggy. She hears like someone, like, banging on, like, a door. Risha Inazuka, get your ass up right now. And she's, like, blinking. She's like, wait. And she has, like, this massive headache. She has all these memories of everything. She vaguely remembers. She has this image, and it's something that quite honestly horrifies her. This giant 9-tailed fox. And it's, like, fuzzy, but she just, like, she remembers having this feeling when she was a baby during that time of this dread and everything. Of, like, dread. And then flashes of memories of... And she's like, wait, Sum Inuzuka is my mom. I'm siblings with Kiba. Oh, God. And then, like, she flashes more memories to when she's about 3 years old. So, like, her last birthday. And she's finally told that because like she asks why am I older than Kiva, but you're our mom. Like, isn't that physically impossible? And Soom's just like looking at her, blinking. Wait, what? How? Of course. You started talking when you were a year and a half, so obviously you're smarter than Kiba, so he would pick up on it. So she takes Risha aside and explains to her that she's actually Risha's aunt, but she has, since her parents died a few years ago, she decided to take her in because she was about to give birth to her own pup, so she would be able to like feed her. And Risha like remembers like nodding her head. Oh, that makes sense. Well, in any case, cousin, you're still my cousin. Leading up to this point. And finally, Risha's door gets knocked in off the hinges, and there standing is a very pissed off Soon. Risha, what the hell did you do to Kiba? And she's like just staring at Soon with this look of shock on her face. She's like, that's Soon Inuzuka. Holy crap. No wonder Kiba gets it. And then she remembers. Well, he stole some. He called me weak. He called me a weak little girl since I'm smaller than him. So I decided to tie him up to like a post. And then Sue just starts busting out laughing about it. So the day goes on, and Risha's kind of in a state of shock. She has the memories of her life, of her 25 years of life in this other world, but she also, like, over the course of the day, the memories of her life in this time become more clear. And she, by the end of the day, she finally like has assimilated the knowledge of this life up until this point. And this person like thinks like, was that all just a dream? Like Risha was just thinking, was that all just a dream? So she goes to sleep, and when she wakes up like the next morning, congratulations, you have slept in your own bed. Sleep, eat, and health have been fully restored. And she's like, oh, so that wasn't a dream. And, oh my god, I'm in Naruto! She, like, gets up, does, like, a little jig. It's like, yes, 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 yes. And Sum Inuzuka is my mom. Well, technically she's my aunt, but she's raised me as her own. So that means I'm going to get a Dinkin. Sweet! So her days go throughout. Over the next couple of years, she really gets into her life as Risha Inuzuka. Spelled Trisha. You read it, it'll say English would say Trisha, but like Sum Inuzuka, the T's kind of silent, and it makes the next preceding letter alter its its pronunciation. So she's known as Risha Inazuka, the second daughter of Sum, because her sister is the her sister had her, and then her sister and her husband had died during the QB attack. So over the next year or so, Risha really starts shining. She starts showing off, and Sum is just thinking, it's like, wow, she's kind of a prodigy. Because a year later, Risha's intelligence is at 10 because she's put stats into that. Her vent, just because of her clan affiliation, each level up she gets +1 to vitality, dex, and strength. So by this point she's gained 2 levels, but she's pumped for in the sorry about this, guys. Let me pause this for a second. Sorry about that. I'm getting tongue-tied for some reason. I'm not sure why. But at each level up, you get 4 stat point allocations. So in one of them, she's put 4 points into intelligence, 2 points into wisdom to bring it up to 8, and because of her clan's thing, her vitality is now 8 as well. Dex is 9. Its strength is 9. And charisma through interacting with members of the clan and getting small quests here and there, cute button. Basically her being outgoing and helping out with her as the adults would say, she's such a cutie because she's always helping people out, clan members out, carrying groceries from the gate or something like that, because her and Kiba haven't really left the compound except on occasion when they were babies to festivals and stuff like that, but never really interacting with other children their age besides some of the other clan heirs. So she's met Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, because Sum's work with their parents. And she's seen a few other ninjas, which every single time she sees someone from Naruto, she gets all fangirl and kind of pulls on Sum and kind of points at him with this giddy nature. So she's become endeared. So her charisma has gained 1 point due to actions. So she's at a 7 charisma. Her luck has actually risen 6 points because successful acts of luck. She's just, for some reason, has been very lucky with everything that she does, so she's gained luck experience. And full stop right here, explaining the luck. Luck in this what if is an ethereal stat. You can lose luck points, and you can gain luck points due to your actions and lack of actions or failures or successes on things of chance. Basically, it has its own XP bar. That's basically how some of the stats work, but unlike the other stats, you can go from just an example, you could have 40 luck and lose 5 million Rio in and a card game, and that would cause you to lose 2 luck. So you would have to do things to gain that luck back. And there's also some passes that give you a static number for luck points that we'll get into later on. That being said, back to the story. So this is about a year later after she's arrived in this world, and she's made a few friends. She's sort of friends. She's sort of friends with like the Shikacho trio. She is really like Shino was actually surprised when they met, when his parents introduced him to like the clan heirs. She actually walked up to him and like shook his hand and was like, "Oh, you're the Aburame, right? My name's Risha Minazuka. What's yours?" Shino Aburame. "So your clan uses Kikaichu bugs, right? That's so cool. My clan has our Ninken, but it must be kind of difficult controlling all of those Kikaichu, right?" Shino kind of nods, and actually his eyes are above his glasses because he's kind of shocked, because people don't approach his clansmen like this. And he's a... But in the back of her mind, like the one person she wants to meet, because she knows she's now in the Naruto world with this person, and going through town with her big sister Hana and Kiba to like get groceries and stuff, she's always hoped that she would run into Naruto. And the reason why she knows he exists, or she doesn't know if there's any changes that have happened with the world, because of the notifications, some things may be different from what you remember. So, but she does hear, she does overhear people saying like "demon brat." Unlike Kiba, her hearing's better than Kiba's, because she asked Hannah one day how can she increase her natural senses. And mind you, this is a 5-year-old that asked her, and they had already been started on like their clan training and everything. And he explained the concept of like using your chakra to like enhance your senses. So she's done this, and she's overheard like, "I can't believe a demon brat pranked those, and the demon brat like stole this and that." And then each time like her face gets a scowl, and Hannah looks down at her and just kind of smiles at her, and it's like, and Risha just kind of blows Hannah off. It's like, he said, "Stop it." So this leads, like, they do more and more clan training. Kiba is told that in a couple of years he'll get his Ninken, and Risha is like, "Will I get one too?" And Zoom kind of ruffles her hair, and it's like, "You'll get one one day, but it may not be from the same litter as Kiba-kun here." And she's like, "But cousin, I want a Ninken now." "Risha," Zoom says. Risha just kind of does like the whole cowering thing. Okay, cousin, I'll wait, I'll be a good girl, I'll wait." And Zoom just kind of picks her up and hug, and is like, "You're such a cute, adorable little girl, cousin." Push her away, and Kiba's just meanwhile chuckling, and Risha just glares at him like, "I will get you back, bro." Like, kind of growling at him, and Kiba just gulps, and then Zoom and Hannah just laugh at this interaction. So they do similar trading. They notice something Hannah and Zoom notice about Risha is she's picking up the clan techniques really fast, like faster than any Inuzuka has ever done. Whereas it took Kiba until we got Akamaru to do the man beast transformation. I think he didn't start learning that. They noticed Risha like do it one time during like hand to hand sparring like with Kiba, and they asked her about it, and she's like, "Well, cousin, I saw some of our clansmen like do it. I didn't really ask them, and just watching them, I kind of felt how they did it. I can't really explain it." And Susan ponders it for a moment, and their eyes shoot up, and she's like, "Risha, one moment." She walks over to Hannah, whispers something in her ear, and Hannah goes off with like the triplets. And a few minutes later, the triplets come back, and like they're barking, like they're talking to Soon. For those of you that don't know, the Inuzukas can actually communicate with their Ninken, with their Ninken. It's just like a clan trait for being around them for so long. They can just understand dogs, like barks and yips and stuff. It's just a clan bloodline. It's like a pseudo bloodline and everything. It's something that, as far as I know, can actually be learned, but it just comes naturally for Inuzukas just because of their close ties to their Ninken. And so Hannah's triplets come back to Zoom, and they explain that that Hannah is like ready. So she basically goes downwind of Kiba, Risha, and Zoom. And Zoom asks Risha, "So can you tell me where Hannah is?" And Risha just like stands there, ponders for a minute, closing her eyes. And then she turns like downwind and like actually points at a tree. And Hannah jumps down and she is like clapping. Risha-chan, it seems like you're a censor. Censor? Risha like ponders and seems like, yeah, it's kind of rare. There's only been a couple censors born into our clan, but that's probably why you've been developing faster than Kiba-kun here. Hey, I'm still stronger than her. Like Risa just like rolls her eyes because she can see Kiba's stats, and Kiba has a 6 in strength. And she just rolls her eyes. Cut to 6 months later, and Kiba and Risha have passed the academy entrance exam. And to celebrate, one moment, I'm going to get something to drink. I'm sorry about that, my throat was dry. So, Zoom says we can go out to eat where you guys want. And Risha's like, I want to pick this up. And then Kiba's like, no, I want to pick. And Hana like basically like walks up behind them and like does like the anime like knife hand chop to their heads. And they both get up from the ground. It's like, Mason, why did you do that? And Hannah like puts her hands together and she's like, how about we do this? You guys fight for the decision. While Hannah's looking up at her mother with like a grin on her face, very well knowing that Risha most likely will win in Hannah's mind. And thinking that her little brother needs to like be brought down a peg. And Sum goes, Hannah, that's actually an excellent idea. So they go back to like their house inside the clan compound to like their backyard where like a dueling arena is. Basically, it's like it's a sparring ring. I don't know how to like describe it with someone, and I don't want to give too big of a dimensions, but it's just like a taijutsu sparring ring. That's a rectangular one, not a round one for competitions and stuff. So they get into it. Kiba comes rushing in, because at this before the start. Hold up, I actually skipped this part, so sorry about that. Scratched past 15 seconds. Backtrack. Hannah's the one that will like. Sum is the one that's judging this, and Hannah's just sitting off to the side, like smirking, and just kind of whispering under her breath. It's like, beat his ass, Risha. Beat his ass, Risha. And this yells as Risha to like get this shit-eating grin on her face, and this infuriates Kiba, and he goes to like attack. Sum grabs him by like the collar, places him back, and he's like, "You will wait until I start the match. Now, begin." So Kiba rushes in, goes for like a right haymaker. Risha ducks it up, like uppercuts him into the gut, sneaking back a couple of paces. This makes Kiba even more angry. And she is just standing there in like a defense. So Kiba comes back in, and then Kiba like actually catches her in like the ribs. And Risha goes, "Oh, that actually hurt. Ow. Kiba-kun, you've gotten better about this. Guess I can't go lightly on you anymore." And in the middle of combat, like, Kiba trying to hit her, she's, like, doing stretches out. Like, her dex is, like, superior to Kiba at this point. Because he's only worked on, like, his strength and, like, his vitality, like, doing exercises that increased his strength. Not really doing stuff that increases flexibility so that he would be getting better dex gains when he's leveled up. And Sum, like, Hannah, like, on the side just whistles at it. Damn, she's flexible. And it's like what both Hannah and Sum are thinking. And she pops her neck, does like a few backflips, and she puts up her hands and she's like, "Kiba-kun, you ready for this?" And Kiba just stops in his tracks, looks at her, realizes what she had been doing for the past minute, and begins to sweat bullets. And in a matter of proceed the next minute and a half, Kiba gets his ass absolutely beat down. Risha comes in, Kiba goes to do a haymaker. She ducks it, uppercuts him, then horse kicks him up into the air, jumps up, kicks him into the stomach. Before he lands, Risha's already there with like her fist out and just knocks the wind out of him, and then throws him onto the ground, and then puts her foot to his throat, and she's like, "Yield." Kiba growls, and he's like, "I give up." Then she jumps off of him, smiling at him, and like grabs his hand and pulls him up. And it's like, "Kiba-kun, you've got to realize, like, not all females are weaker than you. I didn't have time to like stretch out. I should have done that while the mom was like doing that." So Hannah and Sum walk over to her, And they ask, like, so, Risha, where do you want to go? Immediately, Risha goes, Ichiraku Ramen! And Sue, Kiba, and Hannah are, like, their eyes go, like, kind of, not comically, but, like, they widen. And they're like, how do you know about that place? Well, I read something about ramen, and I heard a couple of Jonin of our clan talk about Ichiraku having like the best ramen in town, and you never make ramen, so I want to try it, so I want some Ichiraku ramen. In the back of her mind, she's like, that would be the best place to meet Naruto. Because all the times that they went to the playground, like Kiba asking her like to go to the playground with her and everything, like she kind of blows him off to like do training, like to grind like skill stats and stuff like that, and like doing minor quests inside the clan compound to like gain XP to get stronger. So as soon as they get there, like Hannah's like trying to keep a very excited and energetic Risha from like running, just dragging them there. So she finally picks up Risha and puts her on her shoulders. Risha kind of laughs and she's like pouting like her head is like ramen, 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 ramen. Inside the stand, Ichiraku Sand is just hearing this, and he's like has like dollar signs like in his eyes. Well, there's also a certain orange-haired, orange-covered boy sitting there just mowing down like bowl after bowl with a certain Kage sitting next to it. And as soon as the flaps open, like they just hear like this loud girly squeal, and all of a sudden, Ichiraku, Ayame, and Teruzan just see this scene of this little girl jump off of Hannah, like Saratobi's point of view, sees this little girl sees little Risha jump off of Hannah's like shoulders and just like go in and hug like Naruto. And Ichiraku Tuichi just see Tuichi and Ayame just see this little girl jump off of her older sister's shoulders from a piggyback ride and bear hug attack like glomp Naruto. And Naruto's like Naruto like screams, is like, who's interrupting my ramen time? And then he looks down and he sees this brown-haired girl with like two triangle marks looking up at him, like just like rubbing like her face like into like his chest, into like his shoulder. And she's like, oh, sorry, I'm Risha Inuzuka. Will you be my friend? Please, 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 please be my friend. Just like kind of nuzzling like his shoulder. And Naruto is just sitting there. He doesn't know what to do. This is the first experience for him. And he's just like, Haruza just gets this big smile on his face. Tuichi has like a similar smile, so does Ayame. And Hiruzen turns back and sees Suum standing there just like looking at Risha. It's like, that's new. Hannah's just like rolling her eyes because she's seen this interaction. She's seen this interaction before with a Jonin who, quite frankly, like picked Risha up and just held her to the side, and then turned to Hannah and say, "Hannah, Inuzuka-san, I think this is yours." thank you, Kakashi-san. Thank you, Ino-san. and Risha, basically, when Kakashi was in his Anbu attire, just, kind of jumped at him as he was, walking down the street. Walking out of his house. She basically jumped on him. Kakashi looked down, grabbed her, and hands her, Hannah. Hiruzen, so Hiruzen turns to, Sum. Kiba just walks over and is just eyeing this boy, why did Risha make him, do that? Who is this kid? Why is she so friendly with him? So Hannah sits on the other side of the children because starting out, you have Hiruzen. To his left was sitting Naruto. Now you have Risha sitting next to Naruto on the other side. Then on her other side is Kiba. And then on Kiba's other side is Hannah. So Sum walks over and sits next to the Hokage. Hiruzen, keeping an eye on Naruto, tilts his head over to Sum, and he's just it's great to see young ones don't think it. And Sum is basically says that, well, Risha's a weird one, even for Inuzuka. She's very... Hiruzen kind of chuckles a little bit. She's like you when you were a little kid, right? And Sum just grins. It's yeah, but more like my sister. Always friendly with everyone, but piss her off, and whew, it's a little bit of a cold sweat goes down Hiruzen's back, and he's yeah, your sister was the wild one. Surprised you became clan head. And Sum's well, I think it's because I was the more level-headed one. And with that, you beautiful souls, that's where I'm going to end the first episode of this series. A friend Isekaid to Naruto. Like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about this. The series that I posted comments about, I posted things about in the community tab will be coming out. I just have a few other things that I have to do as far as the story goes before I feel comfortable making an episode on that. I'm sorry if this episode was a little out there and everything, but this is really part 0 is more for everyone that's new to my channel. My part zeros are more of a background story than a actual episode. So this is just background. And from here on out, things will be better. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a nice day. See you in the next video.